What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik. I'm the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and we are coming to you today with a little bit of I call it like a football experiment, so to speak. 5 quarterbacks were drafted in the first round in the NFL this year, and we decided to take all 5 of them in a roster that was created by OS's own Unfadable. And we decided to throw them all into a season or into a franchise mode in Madden, simulate their entire careers to get a gauge on who Madden says will have the best career. Now, obviously, we can only take this so far because it's not official Madden ratings. And even if it was official Madden ratings, it's just another football fans or another group of football fans' guess as to how good Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones will be. So as you watch this simulation, I think it's going to be real interesting to see how the different players move around and who retires, who ends up with this team and that team. So we started off after the first season. The Cowboys came out of the gates like gangbusters this year. I don't know what Madden thinks is going to get into them. But 14-2, the Browns 12-4. They end up winning the AFC North, the AFC South. The Titans win another close battle there. Look at Cam Newton and the Patriots. Because I'm saying Cam Newton because Cam Newton's the starter for right now. This is what Belichick said, and that's what I agree should be the case. They win the division. The Chiefs win the division, but not as dominantly as you might think. Aaron Rodgers obviously didn't get traded, but oh my God, how bad were the Bears, even with Justin Fields starting 3-13? Ow. That ain't cute at all. But the Cowboys did go 14-2. How about them Cowboys? But if you look at the statistics, so this is what we're focusing on because these is individual matchups. Cam Newton, second in the league in passing. Wow. That's I think they got some good weapons, but I don't even know if they'll run an offense enough that gives them an opportunity to do all that. They're going to run a run dominant offense, but they're still going with, he's an 83 at this point. They're still going with the Patriots playbook that's in Madden, so you got to kind of take that into consideration. But yeah, I know this simulation is not about Cam Newton, but that just really struck me. I kind of had to look at that. Zach Wilson throws for 3,946 yards, 23 touchdowns, 20 picks. That doesn't seem too crazy. You saw Garoppolo put up big numbers, which tells you what? That means that Trey Lance did not play a lot in his rookie year during this simulation. Tom Brady had another good year. Jameis Winston had a good year. I'm looking around, Kyle Trask got a chance to throw 4 passes. Trey Lance, 11 of 15. All he threw was 15 passes all season with 1 touchdown. I don't think that's crazy. I really don't think that that's crazy. That might be what we see happen, especially if Garoppolo starts off the season playing well, and unless he gets hurt or something, which is always a possibility with him. And, it turns out that he doesn't end up even winning the job out of training camp, which I think would be kind of strange. I think the 49ers expect for Garoppolo to be the quarterback next year. If he gets hurt, then they'll do something different with that. Somebody actually signed Colin Kaepernick. He only threw 3 passes, but somebody did actually sign him. So I won't look into the stats this in depth for every year of this simulation or this project, but some of this I did find interesting. There's Justin Fields. 3,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, only a 56% completion rate, 232 yards a game. He did play. He won the job, beat Andy Dalton out, which I think most Bears fans, myself included, want to see happen. But that rookie season is going to, if that's what happens, it's going to have some people a little bit worried about where we are moving forward with Justin Fields. So, but, I've seen worse rookie seasons for sure. So let's take a look at the awards. Now, with this simulation and with the roster that Unfadable gave us, it's a fantastic roster. If there's anything that I would say I wish was different, I wish he had progressed it a little bit in terms of had all of the players who were rookies this year actually be going into their second year. So when you look at some of these yearly awards, or if you look at that, you'll see that Justin Fields and those guys are rookies with Justin Herbert and all of that. So that's one thing you just got to know as you're watching this simulation video. But here's how the playoffs shook out. Cam Newton got the Patriots to the number 2 seed. Mac Jones didn't really play, and none of the other rookies even got their team to the playoffs. So 49ers didn't make it with Garoppolo, Justin and Trey Lance. Justin Fields and the Bears didn't make it. Zach Wilson and the Jets didn't make it. Mac Jones makes it, but like I said, it was on the back of Cam Newton carrying that team. And so then Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars did not make it at all either. So we move ahead in the simulation. We go all the way to the Super Bowl, where the Dallas Cowboys end up playing the Bengals. Joe Burrow came back like gangbusters. They upset Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the first round. Then they knock off Baker Mayfield and the Browns in the Battle of Cleveland in the next round. And then they beat Derrick Henry and the Titans in the AFC title game to get to the Super Bowl. If that happens, people in Cincinnati will lose their entire minds. They will go crazy. And they did it from a 9-7 record with Joe Burrow in his second season in the league and coming off a torn ACL last year. So that would be crazy. So we'll see what happens there. But the Bengals actually end up winning the Super Bowl in that first season. Here we are in the second season. These are second season standings here. And we're starting to get it back into what we expect with the Chiefs, 13-3. But look, Justin Fields helps to get the Bears to the playoffs with only an 8-8 record, but they got there. So that's a big deal. Now, you're going to notice coming up here, there is a really peculiar switch from one of these rookie quarterbacks to another team. And when we see it, we're going to talk about it a little bit here, but Justin Fields rebounds, has a really solid season. The completion percentage could still be a little bit higher, 60%, but he threw for 4,187 yards, 36 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. The Bears were only 8-8. Trey Lance doesn't play again, and he's getting frustrated. Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't even great, but for whatever reason, and I don't think this will happen at all in real life, Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to give him the ball. Trevor Lawrence has a good year, not blow you out of the water good. I would say Justin Fields probably definitely had a better year. He got his team to the playoffs too. What happened with Zach Wilson though? Zach Wilson is one of the interesting ones to watch here, but Trevor Lawrence had a good had a good year. Zach Wilson had a really good year, 63% completion, 32 touchdowns. He had a better statistical season than Trevor Lawrence did. So, but the Jets suck. And I think we pretty much know that he got sacked 43 times. That's a lot. And that could very well happen, especially if Mekhi Becton stays hurt. Like he kind of kept getting hurt as a rookie. Mac Jones he's still sitting, y'all. 2 for 5 as Cam Newton had another good year. What is going on? Cam Newton resurgence is in the house. Cam Newton signed a 1-year deal going into the 2021 season. For most people don't believe he'll be back. I do think that it's a situation that could happen. If Cam Newton plays really well and the Patriots go deep into the playoffs, I don't know how they just say we're not going to play him. He's only 32 years old, so we'll see. But Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. The coach of the year kind of is ridiculous in Madden simulations, if I'm being totally honest with you. These guys hardly ever retire. They just keep going forever. So it is what it is. The best quarterback, you look at different stuff like that. Justin Fields ended up getting the best. I don't know. He got the best quarterback in the league. I guess he did have a really good year. He was the offensive player of the year over Russell Wilson, Jalen Hurts. If you watch Madden simulations, they really like Jalen Hurts. I've seen a few of them with other people doing it. They like him. Nonetheless, the Bears didn't do much in the postseason that year, and the other guys didn't actually make the playoffs, so that was that. So we move on to 2022. This is technically the third year of this simulation, and Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars actually get to the postseason. Nobody else really got to the postseason among those rookie quarterbacks. Now, you might be looking over here at the 49ers. You might be saying, well, what about Trey Lance at this time in year 3, right? You would think that Trey Lance has gotten the keys to the 49ers vehicle at that point, but that was not the case. So in some situation, I don't know the exact details of how this went down, but the 49ers end up working out a deal where Trey Lance winds up going to the Carolina Panthers, who pretty much gave up on Sam Darnold, who they acquired in a trade during the offseason this year. And that is probably not ever, I'm pretty positive that ain't going to happen, guys. I feel pretty safe in saying that. Now look, Cam Newton ultimately gets moved on to the Steelers to make room for Mac Jones. So the Patriots do go ahead and make their commitment. But Kyle Shanahan, who won Coach of the Year because he got his team into the playoffs in a relatively high seed, he gets some love for it. Like I said, Coach of the Year is kind of a joke in this whole simulation. But if you look here, and we're looking over some of the, who led in the, in the different statistical categories, but Justin Fields was second in passing yards. Mac Jones was third in his first year getting a chance to start with the Patriots. Cam Newton's still playing well. I mean, Madden is predicting a straight up resurgence for Cam Newton, and I'm a huge Cam Newton fan, so I'm hoping that they are correct. They're predicting him to flip a switch, and hopefully we see that. Now, Tom Brady moved on. He didn't retire though. He didn't actually retire. He ended up being a backup for another team. But Kyle Trask stepped in, threw for over 4,000 yards. Sean Watson still there. Zach Wilson just under 4,000 yards. Trey Lance, there we go. Trey Lance ends up with the Panthers. Finally gets a chance to play. They gave up on Sam Darnold, and so there's Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence's passing yards, they're really predicting that the Jaguars are going to run a run-dominant offense. There's Tom Brady, ended up being Lamar Jackson's backup. If that'll ever happen, I will run down the street in the south side of Chicago, which is where I was born and raised, buck naked with a skull cap and some tube socks on, if Tom Brady ever says he's going to be anybody's backup at all. That ain't going to ever happen. Tom Brady is going to walk away if that's the case. We saw Mitchell Trubisky there, ends up with the Cardinals. That is really wild. There ain't no way in the world Tom Brady's going to continue to play on as somebody's backup. And I think it's almost pretty fairly, I don't know, it's not as easy to say, but it's pretty fair to say that Tom Brady's probably not going to play anywhere else besides Tampa. He's going to probably retire from there. So we'll find out. But here's the playoffs. Super Bowl. Joe Burrow is doing some business. He finds himself in another Super Bowl against the Washington football team. And he handed Trevor Lawrence a loss. They only scored 10 points in this game. Trevor Lawrence, he could have been better. He threw for a touchdown, but he only completed 14 passes on 19 attempts. So they really just they don't lean much on the passing game, which seems really strange. There's no way in the world you would draft Trevor Lawrence and run a run-dominant offense. I just don't think that would happen. So let's go to the 2023 playoffs. Justin Fields and Trey Lance in a first-round match. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a spoiler. Those two guys ended up having a heck of a rivalry in the NFC. Now, that could happen the way it's currently constructed with the Bears and the Niners, but since we saw Trey Lance land with the Panthers, it's a little different. You see Mac Jones is having a nice run there with the Patriots, but he's not in the playoffs this particular year. So we're gonna see what happens in this postseason. But Justin Fields and Trey Lance, they're going at it, right? 4,461 yards. Took a little bit too many interceptions this year for Justin Fields, but he's still second in the league in passing yardage. We see Jared Goff. We see Aaron Rodgers still playing. He's got to be about 42. Kyle Trask is still putting up good numbers. Matt Ryan's got to be about the same age as Aaron Rodgers. He's still putting up numbers. And but Justin Fields in his third year is starting to solidify himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Mahomes is dropping a little bit. Mac Jones is still up there, finished just under 4,000 yards. He's trying to get it done. Teddy Bridgewater went back to the Saints. That's interesting. Some of this stuff, let me just tell y'all, let's not look at Jimmy Garoppolo still with the 49ers and still not being great. This guy here now is Florence with the Rams. He's a guy who was generated there. He's ended up being good. Kellen Mond had a pretty decent year for the Vikings and Trevor Lawrence again. But a lot of this stuff that happens is like in these simulations is like, you got to just take it with a grain of salt. Some of it's like really fun and stuff to watch. But a lot of it is like you're in the middle of seeing it. You're like, that won't ever happen. So as long as you know that and you're not like, going crazy. Look, Jameis Winston lands with the Patriots. There was actually some talk of that this past offseason as he was a free agent, but obviously didn't come to fruition because he went back to the Saints. But some of this stuff is pretty interesting, even though it borders on the preposterous. All right, so the Panthers actually beat the Bears in that head-to-head matchup. Fields threw the ball 55 times. He threw a key interception. I actually kind of watched the simulation of this game. I didn't want to show too much footage of some of the stuff I watched because it would make the video even longer than it already is. But he threw a horrible interception. J.C. Horn picked it off, who was actually a real-life rookie for the Panthers. And Trey Lance just did work on the ground. He ran for over 100 yards. He overcame a pretty egregious interception that he threw to Jalen Johnson earlier in the game. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe we'll do a simulation where we actually show some game footage. Sometimes it can be pretty good. And would you look at Joe Burrow? How many Super Bowls are they saying he's going to go to? Now, they win the Super Bowl, which makes them a two-time Super Bowl champion. What a career they're saying Joe Burrow's going to have with the Bengals. They beat the Cowboys in the championship, which they're also predicting the Cowboys to turn out pretty well. That's something else. So we go back and look at some of these other Super Bowls. That's back-to-back Super Bowl wins for the Bengals for Joe Burrow and the Bengals. He's doing work to the NFC East. He's like, y'all don't want this. You don't want this smoke. You don't want this smoke. And he's handing people L's left and right. So I think Bengals fans will be thrilled if that happens. The Saints beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2000, which is actually 2022, but it's the second year of our simulation. And then if you go back and look at our first year of our simulation, the Bengals made the Super Bowl there, but they lost to the Cowboys, so I ended up getting some revenge later on. So we've done, 5 years of simulations, and the Bengals have gone to the Super Bowl 3 of those 5 years. That's pretty something. Now let's start to look at some of these retirements. Aaron Rodgers calls it a career after 23 years. Adam Thielen, Brandon Brooks, Casey Hayward, Nick Folk, Dante Hightower, Richard Sherman, Xavier Woods. So we see Earl Thomas III, Kelvin Beachum, Case Keenum. So as the further you go down the list, is the lower rated people. But sometimes you'll see some future Hall of Famers down there because their rating might have dropped, but it's because they've played so long. Justin Fields is up to a 92 at this point, and he getting paid a lot of money. He getting paid some serious dough, y'all. So he is still obviously the starter for the Bears, and it's about time for them to start just like winning with them. So I'm looking at some of the players that he has on his team now that he has turned into a elite player, and it's not a fantastic supporting cast, but it is what it is. Trey Lance is an 82 overall now, really solid player. Mac Jones is up to an 80 at this point. Let's see what do we have for Kellen Mond's a 76 at this point. Somebody named Matthew Crocker is a 71. He needs help. Deshaun Watson's a 96, still with the Texans. Davis Mills, another rookie quarterback, he's a 75 and starting for the Steelers. Russell Wilson's down to a 92 at 35 years of age. 30-year-old Jameis Winston's a 78. Josh Rosen is the Washington football team quarterback. He's a 77. Justin Winslow, I didn't know. I thought it was Justice Winslow. I thought he changed sports. Lamar Jackson's a 99 still at 27 years old. That 27 seems like a sweet spot for Lamar Jackson when he gets there. Niles Florence that's the guy I'm telling you about. You better watch him. Derek Carr. So yeah, let's move into the 2024 playoff bracket. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars are back. I told you this rivalry. The Bears and the Panthers. Justin Fields, Trey Lance. That's a thing. Mac Jones is back is in the playoffs. First time as a starter. One thing though is that Zach Wilson, I think at this point in time, if he has not gotten the Jets to the playoffs, people are going to be really coming down hard on that young man. I'm just saying. It's going to go down. But there's a lot of these guys in the playoffs for this year. Justin Fields wins the MVP. Now, see, at that point, Justin Fields wins the MVP. He's a 95 overall. Look at his legacy score. We're going to base a lot of this on like who has the highest legacy score. Even though Madden has a ridiculous thing that it does, if you keep simulating through, once the person's been like retired for a year, they remove their legacy score from the leaderboard. Now, what was the purpose of adding that in if you're going to remove it after a few years? It's kind of stupid. I don't know why it does that. And then it doesn't do it for everyone. So you don't know who it's going to happen to. But another good year for Joe Burrow. Drew Lock is still playing. Josh Allen is killing. I think he's like a 99 overall. But Drew Lock probably should be replaced. Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask having big year. Kyler Murray, Steven Shepard Yeah. Hey, Patrick Mahomes, Carson Wentz played well with somebody named Oscar Irwin. Seems like he's pushing him for a starting job. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys are on a good run here. Tua Tagovailoa is still there, playing rather efficiently. Jalen Hurts. Let's see. Mark Devine has taken the place for I guess he retired Matt Ryan. I didn't see him. Jimmy Garoppolo holding on like I'm trying to tell you out there. Trevor Lawrence, he always has low interceptions, but his yardage is usually pretty low. Zach Wilson's completion rate dropped under 60%. It ain't going. Wait a minute, Justin Herbert's there. So the Chargers, that'll never happen. Foul that under thing number 4 or 5 in this simulation that will never happen. Justin Herbert is a backup quarterback to Zach Wilson with the Jets. Somebody's high. Somebody's very high. Like I'm talking about, they got it from some weed from a tropical rainforest level of high, if they think that's gonna happen. Kellen Mond, 26 and touchdowns, 7 picks. And finally, Justin Fields knocks off Trey Lance. Trey Lance threw 2 interceptions in that game. Not a good one. So these 47% completion rate. Yeah, it ain't gonna work out. I mean, 47.6 QB rate. That ain't gonna work out. That ain't gonna work out at all, sir. And Trey Lance still ran for 111 yards. So that guy there on here and this simulation. You just have to see him, man. He runs over people. He's fast as that. He's a problem. 2024 playoffs. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars from the 7th seed all the way to the Super Bowl against Cam Newton and the Packers. Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl with the Packers. That would be something. You want to talk about creating a dilemma for me mentally, because I am just born and just conditioned to hate the Packers. Even though I love Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, I just really, I can't root. Well, it's very tough. I rooted for the Packers like against the Bucks, but it's hard. I can't root for the Packers, right? I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't. But if Cam Newton was there, I almost feel like I'd have to, unless they were playing the Bears. I don't want that dilemma, so let's hope that never happens, right? But Jacksonville against the Packers in the Super Bowl, and yeah, it didn't work out. It didn't work out for Trevor Lawrence. Cam Newton and the Packers. Cam Newton got the Super Bowl, though, so I ain't going to even lie. Seeing this image right here and seeing Cam jumping around in confetti, even though he's wearing a Packers uniform, I still have to rejoice. And he threw for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns and got the MVP. Oh my God, I'd have to take that. That's what I'd have to do. So now we jump ahead to the next year, playoff time. This is what we're talking about. Justin Fields is back in the playoffs. He won another MVP, y'all. Mac Jones was second in the MVP voting that year. This is what it's all about at this point. All of these guys, all these quarterbacks have been in the league long enough for you to, the individual statistics and stuff are good, but it's about did they win individual awards and what did their teams do. Justin Fields had a great year, probably the best year of his career so far. Mac Jones, maybe the same thing. The 15 interceptions are a little bit high, but when you got 42 touchdown passes, you probably just let that go. Let's see. Justin Herbert looks like Justin Herbert took Zach Wilson's job, y'all, which probably should have never been Zach Wilson's job to begin with in this particular situation, but he took it. Kellen Mond had a good year. Trey Lance had a good year, very efficient, only 5 picks. Kyle Trask still pushing along. There's Trevor Lawrence, solid year, 30 and 10. That's good. Trevor Lawrence is a 92 overall at this point. So he's not a 99. And Justin Fields is actually the highest rated guy. And Trey Lance, so we didn't go through this, but Trevor Lawrence started with the highest overall rating. There's Trey Lance with an 85. The second highest overall rating, I believe, was Justin Fields. It was Justin Fields and Zach Wilson were kind of right there in the same thing. There's Justin Herbert with a 90. And I know Trey Lance was maybe a little lower because he hasn't had, oh my God, Justin Fields is a 99 overall right now. That is insane. He won the MVP. So, and Mac Jones, I'm almost positive was the lowest rated guy of all time. Not of all time. Just of the 5 quarterbacks. He had an 88 overall right now. So 2025 playoffs, Trevor Lawrence is back in. Mac Jones is back in. Neither of them are really high seeds, but the Patriots pulled the upset. They win over the Browns to get into deeper into the playoffs. On that, we're looking at some of this stuff with how the ratings just changed. See, Jordan Love and Carson Wentz is with the Packers now, so Cam Newton has moved on. I don't believe Cam Newton retired. If he might have retired, we got to see. Mac Jones is there; he's still starting. See, Lamar Jackson, Josh Rosen, Jameis Winston. Just looking at who's still starting across the league. Davis Mills is starting there. Deshaun Watson's rating actually went up one. Kellen Mond. Justin Fields is just, look at Joe Burrow. And Josh Allen's a 99. Baker Mayfield's up to a 97. Kyle Trask putting up big numbers of the 80-something and 97 there for Kyler, 99 for Patrick Mahomes still. Dak's a 93. Oscar Irwin starting. Tua's a 88. Jalen Hurts is a 86. Mark Devine's only an 80. Corey Carpenter, look at the mess that the 49ers made in this simulation. So Zach Wilson's still there. He's just not starting. Justin Herbert passed him up. Let's see. So here we go. The Patriots and Mac Jones make it to the AFC Championship game, and Justin Fields and the Bears are in the NFC title game. Yeah, but they didn't make it. Mac Jones won the MVP. Justin Fields was the Offensive Player of the Year, and the Rams with Niles Florence, win the Super Bowl, beating the Baltimore Ravens. It's the second Super Bowl ever for them. 2024, we go back and look at this again just to kind of recap you. Cam Newton, Super Bowl MVP. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's so beautiful to me. That is just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's so beautiful. The only thing that would be more beautiful is Justin Fields and the Bears winning the Super Bowl and Justin Fields being the Super Bowl MVP. Hopefully we get a chance to see that in real life and in this simulation. We will see. So right now, none of the five guys have made the Super Bowl. Have won the Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence is the only one that made it, but he didn't win. So we got to see. Matt Stafford retires. But I would say overall, it still looks like Justin Fields is having the best career, even though Mac Jones is coming on pretty hard. He won the MVP this year. Khalil Mack retired. Oh, that's going to hurt the Bears. That's going to hurt Justin Fields' chances to keep winning. But, Mac Jones is coming. So I think right now it's like a three-person race there. It's a three-person race there. Justin Fields goes down to a 98. Maybe he just wasn't getting the little boost that he was getting before. Let's see who they got here. The 49ers have Eric R. Oh, my God, they made a mess. They didn't keep Trey Lance and ended up with this. It's just terrible. Trevor Lawrence is still there. He's been holding pretty solid at a 92 as just a really good team for them, a really good player for them. Zach Wilson's gone. He's moved on from the Jets. Justin Herbert's in there now. So now where is Zach Wilson at? Jordan Love is taking over for Aaron Rodgers. Trey Lance is still in Carolina. He's up to an 85, having a pretty solid career. Mac Jones is still a starter with New England. Rob Fredrickson trying to come on. He's a rookie there. There's Niles Florence. I told you about him. Alabama quarterback. He's good. Lamar Jackson still 99. Stephen Brewer. We're going to hope that everything works out for him. Jameis Winston. Arnold Allen. Isn't he a mixed martial artist? Davis Mills is 77. Deshaun Watson still a 97 in his 9th year. Russell Wilson is with the Titans, and he's an 87. And I think that springs desperation. I need to hurry up and win. Kellen Mond is Justin Fields. Where is Zach Wilson? We got to find him. Joe Burrow still a 97. Josh Allen's a 99. We got Drew Lock's a 77. We got Baker Mayfield's a 95. We got Kyle Trask still a 89. The Cardinals got Kyler Murray still a 97. The Chargers, Steven Gibson. Oh, my God. They made a mess, too. Mahomes is still a 99. Oscar Irwin coming on strong. Cowboys. I don't know where your boy is. Where is Zach? I feel like he like Waldo. Like, where's Zach? Okay, Giants. He's starting with the Giants now. 86 overall, starting over Daniel Jones. So we'll see if that helps. Bears are moving on in the playoffs. They're in the second round here. Mac Jones got knocked out in the first round. So we're going to see how this works out. Bears got this divisional playoff game against the Saints. Let's see how it all shakes out. 4,615 yards for Justin Fields, 35 touchdowns, 9 picks. Heck of a year for him as we kind of go back and look at the stats. We were looking at who was doing what, but got to kind of, Zach Wilson had not the greatest year. He threw for 4,000 yards, but was a good amount of picks in there. Trevor Lawrence has been really consistent, just right under Justin Fields. Mac Jones has been really good too, but 14 picks is a little bit high. But Trevor Lawrence has been mad consistent, just super consistent. But all that consistency didn't get any of them a championship. But it got Mac Jones another MVP. Mac Jones got 2 MVPs, y'all. 31-20, the Rams and now Florence win the Super Bowl. And I know this simulation wasn't about Lamar, right? But I'm noticing Lamar is coming up short. Him and the Ravens are coming up short here. Devontae Adams retired. Oh my. Tyron Smith, Joe Tooney retires. Jamison Crowder, C.J. Rob Gronkowski, after 16 he was playing with the Packers. He's gone. Zadarius Smith, Zach Martin retires. Mike Evans, David Andrews, and Shaq Mason, 2 former Patriots. There go. Joe Tooney as well. Devontae Parker, Chandler Jones, another former Patriot. Bryce Callahan, Jarvis Landry. Derek Carr retired. Jake Matthews. Tariq Cohen retired after 10 years. Let's see what else we got. Leonard Fournette. Graham Gano retired. I don't even know why I said his name. Justin Fields here is back up to a 99 overall. Let's see who's still where. With the Giants here, Zach Wilson still the starter. Trevor Lawrence is up to a 93 in year 7. This should be like prime for him. Trey Lance in the 87. Mac Jones is at 88. Hey, look. It's doing it, but they didn't make none of the quarterbacks from the AFC made the playoffs. Trey Lance made it in the NFC, as I predicted the Bears and Justin Fields might have some issues after Khalil Mack retired. They dropped all the way down to 8-8 and did not get into the postseason. That is a big deal. That's hurtful, is what that is. It's hurtful for them, and it's hurtful for us as Bears fans. We want to see this turn out better than this. And Justin Fields had a really good year. 30 touchdowns, only 6 picks. He takes care of the ball like that with 30 touchdowns. It's really hard for me to imagine the Bears being 8-8. Defense would just have to give up 38 points a game or something. Zach Wilson, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not a bad year, but that dude has barely sniffed the playoffs throughout this entire, simulation. Trey Lance here with 3,700 yards. Look at Mac Jones, though. He's doing it. And look, Trey Lance is in the NFC title game. He's got a chance. He's got a chance to do something here. They upset the Seahawks and the Packers. Nope, didn't work out. Kellen Mond, oh my mercy. Kellen Mond turns out to be the first rookie from this class to win a Super Bowl. They knock off the Browns to win the Super Bowl, the Vikings' first ever Super Bowl win. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I didn't mention that Jadeveon Clowney actually won Super Bowl MVP the year before last. That is something. That is pretty much something. But yes, he is the first rookie. He's not even on the thumbnail, y'all. Kellen Mond is not even on the thumbnail. But somehow, he has turned out to be the first rookie to win the Super Bowl. And put it like this. Don't be shocked if something like that happens. I know all of the talk and the attention was on Lawrence, Wilson, Lance, Fields, and Jones, but you also had guys like Davis Mills, Kellen Mond, Sam Ellinger, and all these other guys in there, and nobody knows. Like, who thought Tom Brady was going to be the winningest quarterback ever after being drafted 6th? Nobody thought that. So we don't know what could happen here. But Trevor Lawrence is up to a 93. You saw Justin Fields is still a 99. Let's see. Trey Lance is an 88. Pretty much looking the same as it was. Mac Jones is an 89 now. Mac Jones is doing it, right? But the Patriots aren't winning enough. Actually, looking at this, wait a minute. Zach Wilson looks like he finally made the playoffs, unless they only made it because he's not there. That could happen. That's kind of been Zach Wilson's luck in this simulation. He hasn't done much. Justin Fields, another good year. Is Zach Wilson still on this team? He is. 30 touchdowns, 10 picks for Zach Wilson. He had a good year, and they had a bye here in this particular postseason. Trey Lance had a pretty good year. He throws too many interceptions, though. But it didn't matter. They didn't get there. Zach Wilson, and they fell. And look at Lamar losing again. Yeah, he won the MVP again. But this has become a recurring theme with Lamar Jackson and Zach Wilson. Ronnie Stanley retires. Tre'Davious White. Tyreek Hill retired a Ram. Tress Way. Ronald Jones. We got David Montgomery retires as a member of the Texans. The same thing with Tyrann Mathieu and Curtis Samuel. Corey Davis retired. Shaquille Griffin retired. Let's see. Ali Marpet retires. We got Jameis Winston retiring. Mike McGlinchey. Cody Whitehair retires. You know, I'm calling out Bears and Patriots, the team that I'm most plugged in with. Eddie Goldman retires. All right, Justin Fields is still a 99, but I think it's safe to say that his prime is being wasted. And look, the Giants just gave up on Zach Wilson. They just said, you're not the guy. He's not even on the team anymore. They gave up on him. So now we got to play Where's Zach again. We got to play Where's Zach again. Tua Tagovailoa's ratings seem to be dipping. There's Zach. He's with the Cowboys. He's still an 87. And now he's starting over Prescott. He's still an 87. He's still very capable, but he just can't get it done. Trevor Lawrence is up to a 94. This is a high water mark for him for rating. Let's see. Trey Lance is staying solid at an 88. Mac Jones is still staying solid at an 89. Wow. This is crazy the way this little simulated history is kind of unfolding. Trevor Lawrence is back in the postseason, and Trey Lance is back, and that's about it. Zach, oh my God. Zach, I'm starting to feel sorry for Zach Wilson myself. And I'm also starting to feel sorry for Lamar, who the Ravens got the #1 seed again. And my confidence level in them going to the Super Bowl and winning it is pretty low at this point, because this simulation has told us to not believe in that. So we'll see what happens. Ooh, it's getting a little tight for people trying to win a Super Bowl here in this particular simulation. Josh Allen got the MVP. Brad, look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones, man. Come on, man. Mac Jones is doing it out here. He's having a nice career. Look at him. His legacy score is all the way up to 3,500. That is pretty impressive. I must admit. It's pretty impressive. And I'm going to be honest. Mac Jones, I actually do believe that Zach Wilson has the low. Oh my God, Trevor Lawrence won a Super Bowl. Let's stop mid-sentence. Trevor Lawrence becomes the first ever. He finally got the Packers back. He lost to them the first time. He got him in a rematch. Trevor Lawrence wins the Super Bowl. He's the first one to do it of the draft class. That's a big deal. Darren Waller retired. So Trevor Lawrence, you might as well just put a notch there for him. Alvin Kamara. He retires as a Saint. Eddie Jackson retires as a Raider. Orlando Brown Jr. as a Texan. Dalvin Cook. Let's see, Joey Bosa, Calvin Ridley, Ezekiel Elliott. Russell Wilson retired after 18 years. Damian Harris. Let's see, Christian Wilkins. He does the splits and stuff. He's the guy for the Dolphins that dances around and does the splits. Kendall Fuller retires. Let's see, Kareem Hunt retired after 13 years. Zach Moss. Let's see who else we got. Najee Harris. Okay, now this is key. And Travis Etienne. This is key because this is the first year that we've seen rookies from this actual draft class start to retire. So 10 years in, which is also a little scary for people like Justin Fields, who's a 99 overall and still hasn't won a Super Bowl, hasn't even been to one. Zach Wilson's still starting in Dallas, but they are all in year 10 or year 11, I'm saying now, and they haven't won. Trevor Lawrence has got the monkey off his back. He's won the Super Bowl. Now look at this. Trey Lance has been supplanted as a starter in Carolina by Baker Mayfield. Mac Jones is still the man with the Patriots. So it's getting kind of funky for this class. Everybody except for Trevor Lawrence. He's got his. His statistics aren't the same as some of these guys. Now here's some of the legacy scores or the passing yardage scores we were talking about. None of the guys are really up here yet. Single season stuff maybe, but none of the guys are really up here yet as far as that's concerned in terms of records. Nobody's done that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's getting kind of tight for people like Justin Fields. Like I said, he's a 99 overall. He's a superstar X factor. He's done everything but win. Look at his numbers over his career. Very rarely, he was only under like 4,000 yards his rookie season, and then by 1 yard in this last season. So consistently over 30 touchdowns, usually somewhere close to a 3-to-1 touchdown to an interception ratio. He's done everything but win a Super Bowl. Well, make a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. He hasn't done that yet either. So some's got to give, Justin, because you can't be like the Russell Westbrook of the NFL and have all of these, And now here's legacy score. This is a big thing. Justin Fields is already a 9,215 legacy score. Highest legacy score out of every quarterback in this class, even though Trevor Lawrence has actually won a Super Bowl. And the reason that is because the individual awards and things like that Justin Fields has won has, according to the way this formula works, made him a better player, had a better career than Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence. Mac Jones is here with a 3,500 legacy score. Kyle Trask has a 2,925 legacy score. At this point, Mac Jones and Justin Fields have had a better career than Deshaun Watson, according to this, and Joe Burrow. Now, that's really strange. Joe Burrow won back-to-back Super Bowls. So I'm not really understanding how that worked. But okay, but Trevor Lawrence has got a Super Bowl. He's won 2 AFC championships, and he's only a 1,700 legacy score. I get it, but I don't. Zach Wilson had one. He won one yearly award. I think he won Offensive Player of the Year, but he hasn't done anything else besides that. Kellen Mond is right on his butt. He's going to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. So I don't know. All right, so let's see. And as you can look at the Bears, and I'm focusing on the Bears a little bit, for sure I am. But you can see their supporting cast with Justin Fields has taken a little bit of a hit. But here come the Chiefs, right back, 14-2. Giants 12-4. They're 12-4. But unfortunately, Zach Wilson's already gone from there. The Panthers had a good year, but he's not there. But look, all of them made the playoffs just about this year, except for not the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is going to sit this one out. But the Patriots made it. The Bears made it. They're in the mix here. Justin Fields with another good year. I mean, it's just pretty much pencil it in. He's going to have a big year. A guy named Bryce Triplett had a good year. So did Scott McCoy. Look at Mac Jones, though. Mac Jones is consistent. Threw for more yards than Justin Fields this year. Just having a career. If this is the career that he has, the Patriots fans are going to be happy. Zach Wilson had another solid career, 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 13 picks. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Kyle Trask, again, well, not that great for Kyle Trask. Way too many interceptions for him. But Patrick Mahomes is dipping off a little bit, and he's getting older in this thing here. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But Baker Mayfield took Trey Lance's starting job and had a pretty good year with it. So we'll have to see what happens here in the postseason. Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence. That's definitely Trevor Lawrence's probably his worst statistical season. 19 touchdowns, only 19 touchdowns and 8 picks. Cody Goldman seems like to be the man waiting to take Mac Jones's place now. But Mac Jones got his team in the postseason. The Bears beat Trey Lance when Trey Lance was the backup. Bears get into the second round here. Kellen Mond got to the second round too. But the Giants make it all the way to the Super Bowl and lose to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. But Patrick Mahomes didn't actually even win the Super Bowl MVP. It was Shaquille Kelly, who is not a guy that actually exists yet. But it is what it is. We're moving on. Justin Fields with the 99 overall still. Joe Burrow getting a little bit older, down to the 93. Josh Allen's down to a 96. Brian Sellers. Yeah, he doesn't really exist, guys. Just don't worry about it. Brandon Scandrick doesn't either. Kyle Trask. We're at a point where we're starting to see maybe about half and half. The teams here have computer generated people as their starting quarterback, as opposed to real life guys. Patrick Mahomes still a 99 though. He's still just silly out there. 99 overall, 83 speed, still got bazooka, 99 throwing power. Oscar Irwin is now a 90, in case y'all wanted to know about your buddy Oscar. Zach Wilson still starting, but that overall is coming down, guys. It's an 84. It's coming down. And that's worrisome for him. Tua Tagovailoa is the same thing. It's coming down. It's an 81. When you start getting in the low 80s, you probably about to lose your job. Unless you like a second or third year quarterback, you're probably about to lose your job. That's just how this kind of goes. Connor Jackson might be a little bit of an exception. James Croft as well. But Trevor Lawrence is down to a 91. He should still be okay for a while. Oh, my. Deshaun Watson's his backup. Why in the world would that be? I don't know. Justin Herbert sticking on there with the Jets. No matter who goes to the Jets, they just going to be bad. I think that's what Madden is saying. Just don't even worry about it. Whoever is there will have a hard time in life. Trey Lance got his job back. He went ahead of Baker Mayfield, who probably dipped off a little bit because he's older. Trey Lance back in as the starter. Mac Jones still a starter, even though his overall did dip by 1. Mac Jones, actually, his decline should be a little bit slower than maybe Justin Fields and Trey Lance because his overall rating is not due to any athleticism, which is what the system is going to take from you more as you get older. So he should be able to stay in that 80, high 80s range for longer than just almost everybody. But we'll see how it all shakes out. Kellen Mond, a 78. He's accomplished more as a 78 than just about anybody. Look at Lamar back on number 1 seed, but I don't know if he's going to win. Mac Jones, a number 2 seed. Trevor Lawrence is in there. Trey Lance is in there, but no Justin Fields. And Zach Wilson's in there. Everybody's in here this time except for Justin Fields. Oh, my gosh. That's hurtful. That, as a Bears fan, that's hurtful to me. We are all the way in, what's this, year 12 of the simulation. And it's tough. It's tough. It's tough out here, guys. Justin Fields had a good year. It's like a broken record saying that because he's pretty much gonna have a good year, but it didn't work out. Let's see, James Croft had a good year for the Giants, and Trevor Lawrence, 3,800 yards, good year for him for sure. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is coasting in this sim. He's like, I got a Super Bowl, guy. Nobody else in my class has a Super Bowl. Well, Kellen Mond, but it is what it is. Trey Lance, numbers weren't great, but Mac Jones is there with. Look at Mac Jones. There's Zach. Another decent year for Zach, even though he dropped down to an 84. Let's see what happens here. Oh, my God. Mac Jones lost, got upset in his little quest. And Zach Wilson lost again, guys. Trey Lance won. Trey Lance is going on to the next round. Let's see what we got. Go ahead to the Super Bowl here. Trey Lance lost. So did Lamar. And I know this isn't about Lamar, but it happened. So now we're looking at last 4 of the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Giants, and the Saints, and Mahomes. Maybe Mahomes. Well, Tua Tagovailoa's got a chance. Maybe we're rooting for Tua here. Rooting for people to get something that haven't gotten something as of yet. Out of the young quarterbacks in the NFL. Let's see what happens. Nah, it didn't happen. Let's give another one to Patrick Mahomes. Lamar wins another MVP, but I think he's getting about tired of those when they're not accompanied by Super Bowl rings. Saquon Barkley retires. He was with the Panthers. I mean, Tyreek Hill retired twice. He came back. Maybe they talked him out of retirement and he came back. I don't know. Hunter Henry retires. Austin Hooper, Denzel Ward, he stayed with the Browns. Ed Oliver was with the Bears. He retired. Let's see. We got DeAndre Swift. You're going to start to see people retire. Pete Freiermuth, he's a rookie tight end this year. You're going to start seeing people retire, and they're not going to be real people. Daniel Jones retired. Lloyd Cushenberry is one of my favorite names to say in the NFL. Josh Rosen retired. Yeah, Mitch Middleton. Yeah, that's one of those guys I'm talking about because he's retired. He's been in the league 10 years, and he had enough. Dominique Daphne. Thaddeus Moss. And now we're starting to see some coaches retire. Doug Marrone and Dan Quinn. But those guys didn't even have jobs. So there's that. All right, here we go. Taking a look at these NFL awards, and there's Niles Florence starting to turn it on there, and you see Trey Lance and Justin Fields still doing it. Trevor Lawrence on a 6-10 team, but he's in coast mode. Still playing well, but he's not carrying the same kind of a pressure in this simulation that Justin Fields and Trey Lance and, oh my God, Zach Wilson and Mac Jones either. Justin Fields just keeps having great years. And man, I'm hoping this is not just some sort of foreboding, forward-looking thing at Justin Fields' career with the Bears. Like, it's literally wasting his prime. Zach Wilson still kicking, but, with the Cowboys here, but he ain't kicking hard enough. James Croft has stepped in with the Giants and done a better job. Trevor Lawrence there, like I said, he's still doing his thing. Mac Jones, let's see, Trey Lance, really good year, 32 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. Mac Jones had another good year. Who made the playoffs? None of the AFC teams made it. The Bears, look at that. Justin Fields beats Trey Lance again from the 7th spot and gets in there to play the Rams. Can they knock off a number 1 seed? It just feels like, and my hopes are not high. My hopes are just not high. No Zach Wilson, no Trevor Lawrence, no Mac Jones. No, none of, just the only two is Justin Fields and Trey Lance. One of them knocked the other one out, but it just doesn't look good. They're not going to upset a number 2 and a number 1. Of course they didn't. Just give Patrick Mahomes another Super Bowl. Niles Florence is coming, though. I don't know who this guy is, but he's coming hard. He's coming at him. But just Patrick Mahomes, give him another one. Just might as well give him another one. Christian Kirk retires. Cam Akers. James Daniels retires. Let's see. We got Walker Little retiring. He's a rookie this year. T. Higgins. Henry Ruggs III. Josh Jacobs. Let's see. Justin Jefferson retired. He was a member of the Washington football team. Baker Mayfield went to the Jets and retired. Roquan Smith. Oh, boy. See, it's just getting worse. There's the other Bosa. Nick Bosa retires. Jeremy Chin retires. It's just getting worse and worse, though, for the Bears. Derwin James retires. Jamal Adams. All of the really tight safeties are going. Laviska Shenault is gone. A.J. Brown. Tevin Jenkins, the most violent man in the NFL. Well, in the current draft class. That's what. Sam Darnold retires. Julian Blackmon. Titus Jenkins, he's not a real person. Justin Fields is down to a 98, year 13. Joe Burrow's kind of starting to dip, though. He's starting to dip. Josh Allen's starting to dip a little bit at 91. Brian Sellers is still coming on strong. Brandon Scandrick. Kyle Trask still solid. Josh Reynolds is with the, I don't know who that is. Hugh McCain. No. Patrick Mahomes is down to a 94, but he just won another Super Bowl, so it is what it is. Oscar Irwin. Zach Wilson ain't even there. Oh, my God. It says, oh, boy. It's getting bad, Zach. Brian Peralta is the quarterback for the Dolphins. Doug Oliver, Mark Devine. Let's see. Kyler Murray's with the 49ers now. They trying anything they can over there because they screwed up their entire history of everything. Trevor Lawrence is due big dip to 87. Justin Herbert is still at 88. Jamie Stocker. Let's see. Rich Henley. Trey Lance is dropped. Oh, boy. It's starting to happen. Deshaun Watson's with the Patriots, so where did Mac Jones go? And he's at 82. So there were rumors that he would be with the Patriots at some point. That's probably not going to happen now. But where's Mac Jones? Now we got to play Where's Mac. We're playing Where's Mac and Where's Zach. Niles Florence is at 99. Lamar Jackson's down to a 91. Stephen Brewer. Where's hey guys, where the guys at? Jordan Love's there. Scott McCord. We got Steven Gibson. There's a lot of Stevens here. Mac Jones is a starter with the Steelers. He's only an 81, though. It's going fast. Dontrell Kirkpatrick is the reason why Deshaun Watson moved on. Clark Graham, that ain't good. Tom Crocker, he don't sound like he can play. He just don't sound like a good player to me. He just don't sound like a good player. I don't think Tom Crocker's good. He just don't sound like a good player to me. Maybe I'm crazy. But when you say the word Tom Crocker, it just doesn't sound like a future Hall of Famer to me. But then again, I'm quite sure Tom Brady didn't sound like that 20-something odd years ago either. So maybe Tom Crocker will turn out to be something pretty special, but I don't think so. Yeah, there's no Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson is in the free agent pool, which is, if you do Madden simulations, then you know what that means. That means that's the next step before you ain't in the league at all and something real bad happens. And I think that's where we are with him. Something real bad's about to happen. Yeah, we're looking through here just to make sure we didn't miss nobody. We know he's not 25 years old anymore, so that's just what that is. But Zach Wilson he hasn't retired, but I believe his contract came to an end with the Cowboys. He was not re-signed, and so now he's a free agent, and he's got some stuff to think about, because it's coming down to that time period where he might be out of there. Made me think of a KRS-One song. You ever think about when you out of here? Justin Fields is not out of here, though. 13,217 legacy score for him. Mac Jones at a 4,044 legacy score. Kyle Trask is there. Trevor Lawrence is only 2,026 legacy score, despite the fact that he won a Super Bowl. Mac Jones has been the one, but he didn't win. And then you know the other guys. I think Trey Lance deserves a little bit more respect on his name than what he's getting with this legacy score. Just personally, I think he deserves. Kellen Mond there's Zach Wilson. Yeah, he's not in the league. He only got the NFL shield behind him. 78 at this point. It's almost over. He got, and these generic uniforms that they wear look like some sort of weird mocap uniforms. I don't know what it is, but it ain't good. It ain't good, especially not good for Zach Wilson, as he sits there and just hopes somebody calls him for a job in his waning years. Justin Fields has dropped to a 96, so he's still elite, but it's tough. 90 for Josh Allen. Brian Sellers is still going up a little bit, though, in his 11. Brandon Scantrick's up to a 92. We were talking about you. I'm saying your name funny. Lucas Jackson. Let's see, Justin Fields. We're looking here at this is about money here. We're looking at the money situations. A lot of these guys making some a pretty penny at this point. But who's not making a pretty penny, at least not from an NFL roster, is Zach Wilson, who's not on one. Justin Herbert just goes and backs up great quarterbacks. That's what he does. He's 36 years old. He's still at 83. Could probably be starting a couple places. But he goes to back up him. Trey Lance is in Dallas. Okay, we got this is his third team. He's on his third team, y'all. So it's he's down to a 79. He's wearing number 15. He's had a pretty good career. Never eclipsed 4,000 yards though in his career, which is kind of a thing now. But sat out a season. You know, his first 2 years of his career, the 49ers wouldn't let him play. Then the Panthers brought Baker Mayfield to Carolina, which cut into his playing time. And so he's had some decent seasons, but never quite putting it all together. And the chances that he's going to be a part of a Super Bowl winning team at this point in his career is low. Trevor Lawrence is an 85. Jamie Stocker. I don't know why we keep seeing him to fall. Our screen keeps seeming to fall on Jamie Stocker. But yeah. Rich, another guy there who don't sound like him. Deshaun Watson is going everywhere. He gonna be in the Arena League in a minute. He's just going everywhere. He's like, can I win here? Can I win here? Can I win? Look at now, Florence. Look at him. Lamar Jackson's down to an 89. And I don't think he got a Super Bowl in this simulation. He didn't. He just had a lot of near misses. And it's Joe Burrow's with the Steelers. Now he's an 83. Dontrell Kirkpatrick. Clark Graham. There's Tom Crocker. And Niles Lawrence is the best quarterback in the league. Justin Fields is second behind him now. Patrick Mahomes is still up there. No, we're looking to see just at some of these older quarterbacks. Look, all of these guys are some of the oldest quarterbacks in the league now who are part of this simulation. We're getting deep into it, but nobody's retired yet. So we'll see what happens here. We're looking to see that we're in top 100. So Zach Wilson's not even considered a top 100 free agent at this point. There actually was only one quarterback who was considered a top 100 free agent. So that's tough in itself. But if you come out of that and you look just at the quarterbacks, Zach Wilson's the third best quarterback on the free agent market, but he's 35 and he's only a 74. Tagovailoa's in the same position. He's 36 and he's only a 73. These are veteran quarterbacks hoping to get somebody to reach out to them and add them to their roster. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they might be waving that slow goodbye. 2034, Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, number 1 seed. The Mac Jones and the Steelers, that they lost. They didn't win. So Mac Jones is there. So let's see. Oh, man, the Patriots went into the Super Bowl. They didn't win. Now Florence gets the Super Bowl victory. Urban Meyer and the Jaguars, they acknowledged the fact that he got his team deep, had a great record. They had a bye, but it didn't work out. Micah Parsons retires. Deshaun Watson finally says, forget it then. I'm not going to win. Just forget it. Just forget everything. I'm gone. 18 years I gave y'all. All my life I had to fight, but didn't win a Super Bowl. All his life he had to fight. Didn't get it done. Let's see, we got Pete Werner. Let's see, Jalen Hurts retired. Let's see, Jalen Johnson retired. He was unemployed at the time. Elijah Vera Tucker retired. If you don't see a logo behind their face, that means they didn't have a job. There's been plenty of times in my life I didn't have a logo behind my face. But it's all right. You will make it. You will make it anyway. All right, next up. See, Justin Fields is still kicking here. He's a 93. He's 36 years old. It ain't looking good. I'm just saying. I'm sure he's been able to accumulate generational wealth and had some good times in life. Trevor Lawrence is with the Cowboys now. He's accepting his long kiss goodnight. He's accepting it. He's going through the process. Matthew Barber has taken his spot. Oscar Irwin is 35 now. I remember Oscar Irwin was just a little boy. That was about 20 years ago of this simulation. He was just a little boy. Oh my God, did you see that? Patrick Mahomes is with the Titans now. That's different. Lamar Jackson's 38 years old, and let them tell it, he's still running around. I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to play until he's 38. I really don't. We'll see. If he does, it's fantastic, but I'm not sure he will. And I hope he don't lose as many Super Bowls as this thing is saying that he's going to lose. Number 1 seed several times, couldn't get it done. We will see. Some of these names are pretty funny, though. All right, free agents now. We got Kyle Trask, Justin Herbert. Oh, my. Trey Lance has found himself there. Zach Wilson's still there. He holding on for dear life. You know what? Mac Jones actually has retired. He did retire. The Patriots win the Super Bowl without all of those guys. Mac Jones is gone. Mac Jones, what happened with Mac Jones in the simulation, we didn't catch that here. Christian Barmore retired. Josh Allen retired. But what happened with Mac Jones was he went to the Steelers. He only played for the Steelers for 1 year. And then he retired. He was the first one to retire in the whole simulation. Trey Lance has called it a career. He can't do it no more. 16 years he gave you. Tua Tagovailoa and Zach Wilson. Okay, so now we have 3 of the 5 who have retired. The only 2 who are holding on are Trevor Lance and Justin Fields. And we'll see how that looks. Justin Fields with a 14,703 legacy score. You'll see what I'm talking about. You kind of scroll through here. After a while, their legacy scores don't even show up anymore. I don't believe Mac Jones is still showing up because he's been retired for too many years. I think it was like 2 years maybe ago that he retired. They probably still have Trey Lance and Zach Wilson's because this is just that first year that they retired. But yeah, this is a little bit of a lot of a flaw, I would say, in the way this goes. Look at Niles Florence. He's already got the 4th. He's won 2 Super Bowls, all kinds of awards. Whoever this Niles Florence guy is, I know the Rams can't wait for him to get there because he's something. There's Trevor Lawrence, 5,161. on his legacy score. Justin Fields, I think it's pretty safe to say Justin Fields is going to have the highest legacy score. But it just feels like something's going to be real empty because he hasn't even been to a Super Bowl. But he's got all these individual awards. And it's definitely uneven for him. His career is starting to look a lot like Dan Marino, but even Dan played in one. I mean, I believe Dan played in one. He played in one Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Trey Lance with the 18-21. His career is what it was. Zach Wilson's still here with a 1376. So that's their ending one there. So we know where they rank. So at this point, like I said, it took Mac Jones off, but Mac Jones was higher than both Trey Lance and Zach Wilson. He's actually even higher. He was actually even higher than Trevor Lawrence, according to them, because he went to a Super Bowl, didn't win, but he won 2 MVPs, which is something that Trevor Lawrence didn't accomplish. And he had more individual awards, led the league in passing yards a couple times. So according to this, now Trevor Lawrence isn't done yet, so he could still play a little bit more. But Justin Fields has run away with the highest legacy score thing. And Trevor Lawrence is got a chance to be number 2, but I think Mac Jones is actually number 2 in legacy score right now, with Trevor Lawrence being Trevor Lawrence being number 3, Trey Lance 4th, and poor Zach Wilson, bringing up the rear at 5th. We'll see if that's the way that this actually goes. But yeah, we're trying to see if Mac Jones is here, but he's not here. This is, like I said, just one of those flaws that they have here with Madden. It needs to be. Put this on the list of things that need to be better as it relates to Madden franchise mode. Just things that need to be better. Justin Fields with that 14,703, but I think he trade about 4,000 to 5,000 points off of that legacy score for one Super Bowl. Maybe 2,500 points of it he trade for a Super Bowl victory, but he's thrown for over 68,000 yards in his career. 68,000 yards amongst active players. He was only second only to Joe Burrow. So he's had a great career, 91 overall. Trevor Lawrence is down to a 78. It's definitely coming down to an end. The Bears don't make the playoffs again. Neither does, Trevor Lawrence. We deep. We deep into the simulation when the Lions are winning the Super Bowl. The Lions have won the Super Bowl. Nobody, we deep. We deep. We are way deep. Detroit. Gregory Rousseau retired. Jordan Love finally said he can't do it no more. The Detroit Lions have won the Super Bowl. Yeah. If you know anything about this, you know that's something else. Justin Fields is down to an 87. He's 38. He's starting to have back problems. He's starting to give speeches about the old days. It's that, oh man, where is Patrick Mahomes? He's not with the Chiefs anymore. Scandrick, Teddy Hamlin, Justin Fields is. Wait a minute, where's Patrick Mahomes? Did Patrick Mahomes walk away, or is he a free agent now? He's got to be, because he's not. He would be one of the oldest guys on the roster, and he's not there. Well, Lamar Jackson's a free agent. He's 40. Trevor Lawrence is a free agent. He's 37. That means it's almost over. 40-year-old Lamar Jackson. I think it's about over. I think Patrick Mahomes has also walked away deeper into these playoffs. We're basically just watching for Justin Fields now, and he ain't getting it done. Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl. Here we are. And now it's time to just give everybody their flowers. Everybody who's been out here and struggling and going through it as a franchise. It's time for y'all to get y'all first Super Bowls. And that's what we're starting to see. Isaac Sims. I wouldn't be surprised to see Trevor Lawrence has retired here. I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of these are not real people now. Jamie Stocker, he's not real, but we've come to know him a bit in this simulation. Dante Newton, we've been simulating so long that could be Cam Newton's son. That's how long this simulation's been going. Oh my God. The Bears have turned to DeAndre Whiteside as their quarterback now, which means Justin Fields is no longer there. It happened, guys. It happened. Justin Fields is a quarterback for the Houston Texans, and he's 39 years old. He's an 85 overall still. One last time. One last push with the Texans, and they made the playoffs. And they beat the Ravens in the first round. But Justin Fields didn't play. Drake Kirkpatrick played. He almost gave the game away. Y'all should have let Justin play. Oh my God! Don't let the Texans win and Justin Fields didn't play. Didn't even do anything. We don't want that. That's not what we want. That won't help. That won't make us feel better about Justin Fields' whole situation. Oh my God! And it might happen. The Texans are in the AFC title game against the Buffalo Bills, and Justin Fields didn't even play. Drake Kirkpatrick played, threw for 300 yards exactly and a touchdown. I keep calling him Drake Kirkpatrick. That's a cornerback who played for Alabama and the Bengals and the Cardinals. It's not Drake Kirkpatrick. You know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. DeAndre Whiteside in here still. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Dontrell Kirkpatrick, I'm sorry. Dontrell Kirkpatrick is the guy. And it doesn't matter because the Texans didn't get it done. Anyway, I'm just going to let you guys know that they didn't get it done. They're not going to get it done. They lose in the Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills win back-to-back Super Bowls. They beat the Packers. Brian Sellers is the MVP of the league. Now Florence is going to the Hall of Fame. Just so you know. DeAndre Whiteside did win the Rookie of the Year. Brian Sellers retired though. Wow, he just won the MVP and he retired in the year after that. That's something. Let's see how these retire. Mark Devine retired. Trevor Lawrence retired, and so did Lamar Jackson. I feel like he played 21 seasons. Trevor Lawrence played 19. The last man standing is Justin Fields. And he's not standing very sturdily. As we take a look at the Texans, he's not even in the league anymore. He's a free agent now. I don't think he's on anybody's team. It's coming down. It's coming to this. No, he's with the Seahawks. Holding on. By the skin of his fingers. He's 40 years old. He's going to pass out. Is he starting? That's the key. Is he starting? He took a starting job as an 82 overall, 40-year-old quarterback. What kind of team does he have? Jose Hyde, David Lowe. It's not looking good, guys. Darrell Hills and Matt Buckley. They are not good enough. Tight end Will Neal. That's a weird name. Tim Graham. No, it's not looking good. Oh, Antonio Noel, maybe. Antonio Love. Two Antonios. One of them sucks, the other one doesn't. Earl Reddick. He's horrible. Dwayne Elam. He's horrible. The offensive line's horrible. Justin Fields is in trouble. Eddie Sandridge. Jeremy Hawkins is a good player. George Roy. Okay, they got a good defense. Colin McIntyre. Alex Pamphile. That just makes me uncomfortable. Dan Boyd. Ladarius Philbin. They got a good defense. Carl Vincent. That sounds like an old actor from the 80s. And he was on a sitcom or something. Bill Gibson. Bobby Bailey. These names are really bad. Darren Priestley is the return man. I don't think it's going to work out. I'm just saying it didn't. The Patriots losing the Super Bowl to the Rams. Paul Pope. It feels like that might have been it. It really feels like that might have been it. Justin Fields. He might not have did it. I'm scared to look. I don't want to see it, but I do want to see it because this video's been so long I'm going to cry. But let's see. And he didn't do it. He didn't retire. He's still there. He might not be on the team. He's not on the team. Justin, just let it go, bruh. It ain't going to happen. Sometimes you just got to drop. Dontrell Kirkpatrick is 99. But sometimes you just got to say it didn't work out. That's just what you got to do. And he doesn't want to do that. The Super Bowl passes. The Rams finally do win the Super Bowl again. They beat the Raiders. Rich Henley got the MVP. I think this got to be it for Justin. It just got to be. I can't imagine he could hold on any longer. I can't imagine. I don't think he can. He's still holding on, guys. He's got to be kidding me. Tom Crocker retired, Justin. Tom Crocker left. If Tom Crocker left, Justin, gee whiz. Justin Fields has got to be one. He one of them Brett Favre stubborn dudes that just don't matter what. He is not enough. The next Super Bowl passes. The Patriots win by 1 point, 19-18. That sounded like a thriller. The 2041 retirements. Cade Sanderson. Okay. Niles Florence has called it a career, Justin. He accomplished a lot. There it is, Justin. After 22 years, Justin Fields finally said he had enough. You played great. You are a Hall of Famer, but you will be one of those debated Hall of Famers. People will say you didn't win, but your legacy score is the highest. The second highest legacy score is Mac Jones. The third highest is Trevor Lawrence. Then it's Trey Lance. And then bringing up the rear is Zach Wilson. Debate it all you want. But Justin Fields played 22 years, and he's calling it a career. I appreciate y'all watching. God bless and peace.